Our first award is the Kansas Green Schools of the Year Award. This award is given to schools showing innovation, leadership, and outstanding environmental stewardship, in addition to incorporating environmental education into their school curriculum. This award is co-sponsored by KACEE and the Kansas Department of Health and Environment. This year, we're pleased to present the award to Green Tech Academy, Olathe West High School. Imagine a high school where every student attends classes in a building designed for energy savings and leadership of sustainable practices, and it's led by students. Imagine a place where students can research, investigate, and imagine environmental solutions in their future. Fortunately for students in Olathe, they don't have to imagine. They have the opportunity to attend the Green Tech 21st Century Academy. It's a 4-year program that students may join. It's charged with researching and directing how the school can save energy and use sustainable practices. The Olathe West Green Tech Academy is registered as a Kansas Green School. Like most green schools, Olathe West, the school mascot is the Owls, Olathe West Owl. They manage their school recycling program. The Green Tech students have Owl U Recycling T-shirts to help promote school-wide participation and manage school recycling as a service project. But way beyond an exemplary recycling program, the Olathe West Green Tech Academy aspires to develop a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of humans and the environment, explore, understand the economics of energy and the impacts to the environment, know and debate local, national, and global legislation related to these issues, and come full circle to design and build alternative energy systems for cars, homes, and businesses. The Green Tech Academy leaders bring the resources to students by engaging an advisory board with over 40 industry, university, community, and government partners. These partners work with individual and small groups of students to advise their students' work, critique their presentations, and provide internship opportunities for those students. These students take a deep dive into energy, climate, and environmental health, which culminates in their senior year with the capstone project where they demonstrate their learning through their projects. A major recent project in Green Tech resulted in the Academy being awarded a $5,000 grant by Heartland Utilities for energy efficiency through KACEE to establish a network of green feeder schools that will establish green teams pushing forward environmental and energy efficiency initiatives. The high school Green Tech students will use the grant and collaborate with their business and industry to work with elementary schools in Olathe to improve green practices in each of those schools. Advisory team member Carol Williamson summed it up when she said, "This is an exemplary program in a truly green school with students reaching out to their local and statewide community to collaborate for a better future." And KACEE couldn't agree more, and we're pleased to present the 2020 Kansas Green School of the Year Award to Olathe West Green Tech Academy. And here to accept the award is Matthew Melholm.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Just want to make sure before I go on with that.
Would you go ahead and unmute yourself?
I believe I did. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. The Olathe West Green Tech Academy is honored.
Unmute yourself.
Oh.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Great. Like you said, my name is Matthew Milholm, and I'm one of the Green Tech facilitators at Olathe West, and the Olathe West Green Tech Academy is honored to win the Kansas Green School of the Year Award. The Academy staff would like to thank the award staff at KACEE. We would also like to thank the wonderful staff and administration at Olathe West High School. We are truly lucky to be able to teach at such a great environment with such great people. The students are what make our academy truly great. They are determined and focused to solve the problems of tomorrow. They work through real world scenarios and situations to better your and my tomorrow with appreciation and recognition, but also through their continuing our mission to prepare students for their future. Thank you, guys.
Our next award category are the KACEE Awards which recognize the outstanding achievements and leadership of individuals and organizations in the field of conservation and EE. Our first KACEE award is presented to David Bennett, J.C. Harmon High School in Kansas City, Kansas. Excuse me, there are some teachers who go above and beyond to make learning impactful for students, and David Bennett is one of those teachers. A teacher at J.C. Harmon High School in Kansas City, Kansas, Mr. Bennett teaches science and environmental science. David has developed a productive partnership with Friends of the Kaw, an organization that works to educate about and protect the Kansas River. Through his partnership, David's students have the opportunity to get out into the water and do water testing and water quality field experiences, giving them real-world experiences in collecting and analyzing data. More recently, Mr. Bennett has expanded that work to have his students participate in the Community Issues Taught by Youth, or the CITY program, which required students to apply for and then train to be interns who teach adults how to do water quality testing. These students also have made several appearances in radio programs and have organized, promoted, and implemented a community cleanup. David's students are learning to lead in their community and care for the environment at the same time. Seeing the incredible learning potential for his students around water, David applied for and received a substantive grant from the Environmental Protection Agency to construct the J.C. Harmon Wetland and Outdoor Education Lab. Now, Mr. Bennett has easy access to engage his students in learning at the wetland, including hands-on field testing lessons using both non-chemical and chemical tests, and seining and identifying macroinvertebrates. Mr. Bennett, with assistance from students and staff, manages and maintains the wetland in addition to his full-time teaching job at J.C. Harmon High School. While it means more work for him, David knows the learning is richer outdoors, and his students benefit by learning real-world science and connecting to their environment. For Mr. Bennett's work to inspire the next generation and his outstanding contributions to the field of environmental education, KACEE is pleased to honor him with the 2020 award for pre-K through 16 formal education.
Hello, thank you so much. It's so wonderful. I want to take a couple moments, maybe just 1.5 moments, to ask you all to help me with a proactive solution, or at least a step forward towards conservation in schools and on land owned by large institutions. So I got a question that I put in the chat, and if you could put your answers to that anytime you see that, you could do it. If you come up with something, you remember some stuff, make a list for me, whatever you got, because it's a thing to have to protect your stuff in big campuses and institutions and districts. So please, I'd love to hear from you. But I also thank you all. This is you all are doing wonderful work, and I love y'all. I appreciate you.
Our next award recipient, Keila Sherman, works as the Greenwood County Conservation District Manager. Keila has only been the district manager for the last 5 years, but has already demonstrated her leadership in environmental education. Keila knows the future success of conservation in her Greenwood County relies on the engagement and education of youth. From sharing information with youth at popular events like the Greenwood County Fair and the Cattleman's Day Young Ranchers program. Keila also visits classrooms in the county to do environmental education programming. She will bring out the soil tunnel trailer, the earth balloon, or the stream trailer to local schools so that students have a hands-on learning experience about the connections between agriculture and the environment. She also provides educational programming for area students through a water festival, Day on the Farm, Envirothon, and Range Management School. Keila will often locate and organize guest speakers for the units the students are studying. These guest speakers are scientists or specialists in their fields. Older students are exposed to careers that involve conservation and sustainable agriculture. This year, Mrs. Sherman went above and beyond, working with the 6th grade science students in Eureka with a week of lessons using the Augmented Reality Sandbox, a 3D interactive tool that helps students visualize topography and watersheds. Mrs. Sherman developed lessons with the sandbox that supported the classroom's learning goals and made it relevant by tying in a local landmark, Teeter Rock, which is a source of pride for local residents. Students constructed the hill in the sandbox and then used what they had learned to create a model using Tinkercad, a computer-assisted drawing software, to print their 3D design and paint the model according to the elevation colors found on the sandbox simulation. As teacher Pam Colenge stated, the project reinforced the importance of the ecosystem in which the students live and promoted pride in where they are from. I think this is the purpose and the power of place-based science lessons. This is a small sample of the outstanding conservation and environmental education work that Keila provides in her county, and KACEE is very proud to present her with this award. Keila was not able to join us this evening, but she does have this message that she recorded for us.
Hi, Keila Sherman here. Just want to say thank you for giving me the KACEE Award last year. It's an honor to have received it. I was nominated by Pam Colenge, a Eureka elementary school teacher that had worked in the elementary school there for many years, and she had asked me to come to her class and present on, to begin with, noxious weeds in Kansas versus our native plants. And so then we got to visiting about the Flint Hills and the grasses. So we put together a few field days with the kids, and I presented the sandbox for them, and we did erosion, we did the formation of the Flint Hills, we've done, what else do we do? Oh, they did a 3D printing of Teeter Rock, each of them designed, and I think that was one of my favorite experiences with the sandbox and working with the students in elementary there in Eureka, and just completely honored that I was chosen for this, and sure miss Pam working at this school. So that's it. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
And this year, our next one for Mrs. Sherman, we go to Shelby Stevens with the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. KACEE is pleased to award our 2020 Excellence in Conservation and Environmental Education to Shelby Stevens with the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks in Pratt, Kansas. Shelby has been involved with environmental education in Kansas for more than 20 years. She serves as the administrative specialist for the Wildlife Education Services, or WES, in the education section of KDWPT, as well as administrative support for boating, national archery in the schools, and she also assists with many other agency educational efforts. Shelby serves as the backbone of the Wildlife Education Services, providing high-quality, prompt, and precise support for all of KDWPT's educational programs. She's the point person for the Wildlife Education Reference Center, which provides wildlife education supplies, learning kits, books, and other items available for teachers and other educators across the state to check out for classroom use. This means that educators have ready access to everything from examples of skulls and pelts of native animals to reference materials like birding guides. In addition, Shelby is an integral part of Becoming an Outdoors Woman program, leading the behind-the-scenes efforts to make the program successful. Shelby's work doesn't stop at the KDWP offices in Pratt. She is also responsible for making sure that all the educational materials that schools and families have access to at our state nature centers are of high quality and that they're readily available. Shelby supports the education efforts at the Milford Nature Center, the Southeast Kansas Nature Center, the Pratt Education Center and Museum, the Kansas Wetlands Education Center at Cheyenne Bottoms, and KDWP's education programs in the Kansas City District offices in Johnson County and Northeast Kansas. She's been a major part of the Outdoor Wildlife Learning Sites, known as OWLS program for KDWP as well, serving as the initial contact for teachers and other resource folks in getting applications in for consideration of funding. Mike Rader of KDWP, who knows his Kansas trivia pretty well, also had this to say about Shelby. She is a joy to work with, and in the 13 years I've been her supervisor, I could not have asked for anyone better as an assistant. For all her work in supporting high-quality environmental education in Kansas, KACEE is pleased to present Shelby Stevens with this award tonight.
Thank you, everyone. I really do appreciate it. It was a big surprise when I got the call from KACEE saying that I was nominated and got the award. I want to say a big thank you to Mike. He's a big part of our department, and I wouldn't be able to do my job without y'all, and it's a joy to work with y'all. And KACEE, thank you for everything. It's great to work with you. I enjoy working with y'all, and all I can say is thank you very much. I really do appreciate it.
Doesn't she sound delightful? Congratulations, Shelby. Next, we're going to introduce two individuals to you, Dr. Helen Alexander of the University of Kansas and Ms. Julie Schwarting of Free State High School in Lawrence in the pre-K through 16 education. When Mrs. Schwarting's students at Lawrence Free State High School walk into her class, they will often be heard to ask, "Are we going to the prairie today?" And often Mrs. Schwarting's answer is yes. Julie Schwarting, a biology and an environmental science teacher at LFSHS, had a wild idea. What if they turned the old football field into a prairie? And Julie had just the partnership she needed to make this a reality in Dr. Helen Alexander, KU Ecology, Evolutionary, and Organismal Biology professor. Together, they engaged high school students to create a 1.4-acre research and demonstration prairie to serve as a long-term study site of native prairies for both students at Free State High School and for students at KU. That way, they can get a better understanding of prairie biology and to invite the community to explore the prairie with this resource. High school students have an opportunity to ask and answer their own questions on the prairie and learn biology concepts in the context of the prairie's ecosystem. They have the opportunity to work with university graduate students and faculty on long-term projects, including being part of published research. But it's not just Julie's students at Free State who benefit from this prairie. Many other teachers from other departments at the school have also taken their students to the prairie site as a way to expose their students to the outdoors and a calming, relaxing environment. The prairie serves as a rich place for students at Free State to learn and develop problem-solving skills, as well as social and emotional skills. The Free State Prairie provides learning opportunities that are as deep as the prairie's roots. Free State students and KU students use the prairie as a live learning laboratory, and they also open up the site to the community. To better educate the community and students, Schwarting and Alexander collaborated with the Arts and Photography Department to produce plant identification tags that are both accurate and visually appealing to any of the guests that visit the prairie. Because the prairie is bounded by a wooded stream, annual burns and hand culling of woody vegetation is required. Students are tasked with activities that include observations, research, and care of the prairie during their classes. The prairie is a true collaboration which serves as a rich learning experience or resource for the school and for the community, and it's supported by KU's Kansas Biological Survey, Kansas Applied Remote Sensing, Lawrence Public Schools, Westar Energy, the Elizabeth Schultz Environmental Fund, and the Grassland Heritage Foundation. As fellow teacher Sarah Abida can attest, the prairie on our campus has increased students' love, awareness, and care of native Kansas habitats. By exploring the prairie, designing experience using the experimental plots, and collaborating with researchers like Dr. Alexander, our students are able to see how the content we learn in biology class is real and affects their everyday lives. The prairie, along with its design, allows students to ask open-ended questions, design their own experiments, and for their leadership, vision, and collaboration to provide outstanding environmental education, KACEE is pleased to award Ms. Julie Schwarting and Dr. Helen Alexander with the 2020 Excellence in Conservation and Environmental Education Award.
Thank you very much. I don't know how we're supposed to do this with two of us. I'll say something real quick. I want to thank KACEE, of course, and our nominators. We appreciate that so much. I also want to thank Julie. Julie has been a great, we call ourselves co-conspirators. She's fearless and willing to try everything, and at the same time, incredibly compassionate and working with individual students. And I just want to put in a plug for all K through 12 students. What a year you guys have had, and I want to thank you. And encourage you, by the way, to seek out professors at colleges and universities. Most of us who are at colleges and universities have very little knowledge of K through 12 classes except through our own kids. And if you contact us, you're going to get people who are willing to collaborate, and it can be a really good experience. Go for it, Julie.
Okay, I won't say very much. I kind of like, we've worked with David Bennett before, and that was really a lot of fun. And so, David, in answer to your question, it is difficult. And I think that's one of our biggest questions and our challenges is to, I mean, Helen and I are, you know, not chicks anymore. And so, you know, we want to make sure this continues on. And I'm really fortunate right now at my school to have a group of biology teachers who are going to, I feel, carry this forward.
Can you send some over to KCK, do you think? You could give them a moment?
Yes, but I think the answer to the answer to all of our, I mean, for me, the answer is collaboration. I mean, just like in nature, you know, it takes a whole bunch of us doing all our little individual jobs together to make this strong community and to make these projects last. And so I really appreciate it, Sarah and Carol, for all of your help and support. And yeah, we go out there every day. Sarah's out there today. She's going to take the trail cams out there with her students tomorrow and do some novel research out there. So I'm excited about that. But thank you all for being part of this amazing community and supporting each other in our endeavors. So thank you.
Congratulations. And next year, we're going to open up a new category for an award. It's called the Julie Schwarting, We're Not Chicks Anymore, Not Young Chicks Anymore classification. That's going to be a nice trophy, isn't it? Our next award winner is Amy Hammett. Amy is the kind of teacher that all kids love to have. It's not uncommon to see Amy Hammett students from Mays High School presenting to a full room of adults, a room full of adults, on their data analysis of years of data from the United States Geological Survey, along with their models to predict the occurrence of harmful algal blooms in the Cheney Reservoir, and sharing strategies to help prevent harmful toxins from entering the drinking water supply. This is because Ms. Hammett's students are the experts. Amy reached out to the city of Wichita in the midst of the Lexus Eco Challenge for help in connecting her students with other science classes or interested student groups to learn about water quality. This was when Lisa French, the Cheney Watershed Project Coordinator, was introduced to Ms. Hammett, and Lisa learned more about what Amy was doing with her classroom. This is how Amy described her work. The Mays High Climate Club partnered with U.S. Geological Survey and the Kansas Water Office, with the University of Kansas, and with the University of Missouri's Reservoir Observatory Student Science Project, also known as ROS, and now with the city of Wichita to monitor Cheney Reservoir for harmful algal blooms, or HABs. The students and I are working on an R programming computer model that makes predictions using USGS historical data for the past 100 years or so about when a HAB will most likely occur in Cheney Reservoir. And her students were using some very sophisticated techniques. Not only are Amy and her students doing the research and interpreting the results, they're actively seeking ways to share their work with others. In the process, her students are learning some key skills necessary for anyone who wants to make a difference on environmental issues. They work to explain their data so that other students understand the issues. They become comfortable in making presentations and speaking in front of groups. They're learning to be leaders in their school and community. And as a Kansas State Department of Education Master Science teacher, Amy shares her passion for real-world and relevant environmental and science education to other high school teachers in the states of Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, throughout Kansas, as well as Oklahoma and Colorado, as they learn how to use the new science standards and launch a formal data science education in K-12 initiative as well. Through all of her work, Amy is relentless in her pursuit of resources and results. We applaud her energy and enthusiasm as a teacher and as a mentor for her students. When we visited her classroom to talk about our watershed project, we witnessed the strong bond that she has built with the young adults in her classroom, that from Lisa French of Miss Hammond. It's evident to all who see Amy and her students that she is helping to prepare our young scientists for a lifetime of exploration. KACEE is pleased to proud to present the 2020 Award for Excellence in Conservation and Environmental Education.
It's really difficult to look at those pictures. All those kiddos are college kids now, all grown up. So our project now has gone into multiple universities. They're all becoming biologists or chemists. They're all scientists working on this project at greater levels. They developed a machine learning model that we gave to national water managers in Washington, D.C. It's the most significant thing that I've ever been a part of as a teacher. Those kids and that project spread to hundreds of other kids, and their enthusiasm spread to many, many adults. They showed science as a team sport can have impact like I've never seen. So it's a great honor to be a part of it all, to have had those kids with me at the right time in my life, where I was looking to do something for Kansas, and they were looking to do something for the world. And so thank you, KACEE, and Lisa French, actually, great lady there, and really put me in touch with USDA people, and Ted Harris at KU put me in touch with USGS people, and people just surrounded these energetic kids. And their humble teacher, they taught me. Helen, you're one that did also, so thank you. So I feel very privileged to have gotten many PhDs again and again from so many people. So this award is for those kids mainly. So thanks again, KACEE.
Amy, congratulations from all of us. Our next award is the Connie Elpers Rising Star Award. Named in honor of one of our most influential environmental educators in Kansas, Connie shared her love and passion for teaching about the environment with thousands of people from young to old. With a seemingly inexhaustible energy for teaching about the environment, Connie embodied the best of our field and was an outstanding example to the young people she mentored. This award honors Connie's legacy in recognizing those passionate individuals who are new to the conservation and environmental education field in Kansas, but are already making an impact. This year, we are pleased to present the Connie Elpers Rising Star Award to Jessica Barnett. She is with K-State Research and Extension in Olathe. While with K-State Research and Extension in Olathe, Jessica Barnett served as the Agriculture and Community Development Agent and recognized the interconnectedness of agriculture and the environment. Her passion for agriculture and the environment runs deep, and education is the tool she uses to cultivate these connections. For example, Jessica led approximately 80 volunteer extension master naturalists in the Kansas City metro area. She ensured that their trainings and meetings had informative speakers to teach them all facets of preserving our environment. In the last 2 years, this group, with Jessica's leadership, presented the Hasta Luego Monarch Butterfly event at the Pollinator Prairie Garden to roughly 480 citizens. Participants learned the importance of the monarch to our ecosystem and the health of our planet. And this is just one of the many activities that the master naturalists have taken on in the region. Jessica has worked with young people to connect agriculture and environment and excels at it. One program which continues to be successful under Jessica's leadership is called A Slice of Ag. Youth gain an appreciation for how farming helps to grow the ingredients for a healthy pizza lunch. Fourth grade students from across the country look forward to attending this event. Students visit 8 different activity stations which provide experiential learning opportunities. In the past 2 years, Over 2,000 youth participated in this two-day event. Jessica has also led numerous programs for youth and their families. In partnership with the Pollinator Prairie Gardens Pollinator Week, Jessica hosted a camp to help families learn about the importance of pollinators in helping our vegetable and flower gardens grow and produce flowers and food. 450 family members attended this unique camp. Bees, tallgrass prairies, ecosystems, and farm to table were just a few of the topics which Jessica had presented to schools in the area. Helping youth to make the connection with the world around us is definitely a passion for Jessica. These are just a few of the many educational opportunities that Jessica has led and been an integral part of in the last 2 years. Jessica is truly a shining star for leadership, youth, and environmental education. For her work providing outstanding environmental education to thousands in just a few short years, KACEE is proud to present Ms. Jessica Barnett with the Connie Elpers Rising Star Award. But we have this recorded message.
Hi everyone. I am so sorry that I am unable to join you all tonight. I am actually at a dear friend's rehearsal dinner tonight, and she is getting married tomorrow. So there are joyful celebrations tonight and there are joyful celebrations tomorrow. But I did just want to take a short moment to express my gratitude and awe and my humble thankfulness for not only being nominated for the Rising Star Award, but for being the recipient of it. I have seen the list of individuals who have received that award and all of the others that KACEE awards each year, and I am very thankful and still in disbelief, even after all these months, that I am on that list with those individuals. And to know that my work with the Kansas Extension Master Naturalist and the Johnson County K-State Research and Extension Office is being recognized, that it was at a caliber high enough to be recognized with an award. So I am incredibly humbled and thankful for that, and I am it's a very humbling experience. I did want to share, however, that I have left the Extension office. A job opportunity opened up just a few miles down the road from where my future husband and I are working to establish a home and hopefully start a family in the coming years. And I had to make the hard decision between what I had a passion for and what was best for our hopeful future family. So just know that you do have another willing volunteer just across the river from Leavenworth. I am in Farley, Missouri. So should any of you come to visit Platte County, Missouri, Weston, Platte City, any of those along those lines, I hope you will give a holler and look me up. And I will be ever an advocate for KACEE and all of the work that the organization and the network does. Thank you all and have a great night. And I hope you all stay safe, healthy, and happy. Thank you.
A number of things here yet to do tonight, including the President's Award, which is next. The President's Award is a surprise award to recognize outstanding efforts and achievements that advance EE in Kansas and which deserve special recognition and who may not be otherwise recognized. Here to present the President's Award is KACEE's President, Mike Holtz.
I am here.
Go ahead, Mike.
Richard Mabion has been involved in environmental literacy since the early 2000s and involved with KACEE over the past 15 some years. When I first came to know Richard, he was doing what Richard does best, reaching out to tap into resources for his community, specifically related to the environment. Richard recognized that there was a great opportunity for his community through a focus on the environment. This focus would allow for green jobs, better air and water quality, a healthier community, and thriving educational opportunities. This has been Richard's passion, and what makes Richard so unique and impactful in his community is the approach that Richard uses. I would call it convene and connect, educate and engage. Richard has convened and connected people through his Breaking the Silence conference. This conference brought together around 200 people in the community and served, in Richard's words, as a stepping stone. It taught people what the environmental movement was about, and Richard specifically wanted to give people a chance to put their hands on environmentally related tools and resources, like solar panels or weatherization materials. Coupled with national speakers, community members had opportunities to meet and talk with different environmental organizations and learn more about what they were doing. That this conference was led by a person of color for people of color was just not done in the environmental space in 2007. It was a first of its kind and got people in the community talking about the environment. Richard not only convened the people in his community, he also is a convener of resource people for his community. In the time that I have known Richard, I have watched him bring to the table local and state government officials, representatives from local businesses and industry, nonprofit environmental organizations, social service organizations, housing authorities, colleges, universities, state natural resource agencies, the EPA. Richard works diligently in all things that he does to bring in as many diverse resources to his area as he can. He is a coalition builder. He's an organizer. He's organized events like Trick in the Hood, which brought together a car show featuring lowriders designed to attract young males and trick-or-treating, designed to attract young families. Richard used these events as a tool for educating the community members about energy savings with demonstrations of materials and resources for them to use. He connected saving energy with lower bills and cleaner air. And in one evening, he reached hundreds of community members. Richard followed this up by connecting further with the Sierra Club to do a series of presentations to 144 neighborhood groups to talk about energy saving and cleaner air. And during these meetings, would give away the different resources like light bulbs, weatherizing kits, and caulking, and then to do a raffle for a free home energy efficiency makeover done by a local professional. This created an opportunity for community members to directly see the benefits and share their stories of how saving energy saves money. Richard also works to educate and engage with students in schools, but again, always connecting with community and resource organizations. For instance, Richard helped to recruit a local middle school to build, install, plant, and maintain 3 raised bed gardens at the local Hilton Garden in downtown KCK. The Hilton Garden Inn then provided a meal prepared by their chef using the produce from the garden, which helped to further educate students about both the health benefits, but also potential career pathways. There is always an economic hook to Richard's work as he recognizes the poverty contributes to environment and health problems in his community. Another example is a partnership with Friends of the Call, who work with Richard's connections in the schools to engage students in water testing of their local rivers. Richard tied this in directly with the Flint water crisis and connected for the students, the agency, to know what's in their water and how to keep their drinking water clean and safe. Richard worked with me at Wyandotte High School in developing an environmental classroom in one of our courtyards. He worked with me in helping to network throughout the community. Richard also works with the faculty at Donley College, connecting students in an environmental services class to social services agencies, where the college students intern to help design and develop training programs around environmental justice, environmental services, and environmental consciousness that the social service agency staff can then use in their job training and outreach. Again, this connects environment and economics, a common theme of Richard's work. Most recently, Richard is working with the local climate action leadership team to engage what is described by leadership at Project Drawdown as an untapped segment of climate leadership and solution advocates and solution implementers. He knows this is critical for his community and that his community will face the most challenging impacts of climate change. In 2012, the Kansas Sierra Club elected him as the first Black board member. In 2013, the National Sierra Club, he received the Achiever of the Year award. In 2014, the Kansas NAACP elected him as their president. And in 2016, the EPA Region 7 environmental justice. He was the man of the year. He is a speaker throughout the country. He was KACEE's keynote speaker at our environmental conference at Lawrence several years ago. And these are but a few of the ways that Richard Mabion continues to impact environmental literacy in Kansas and throughout the world. Surprise, Richard.
Yes, I can. Thank you. Thank you. I thank KACEE for this award. You all have always been the heartstring of my work. Laura, she's like my sister from a different mother. And you know, Mike, you were who you are in my life. So I really appreciate this. And I'm just, y'all blown me away. I'm speechless. There's many, many people who would love to have known you put me in a position to be speechless. That's something that they've never seen from me. I'm just overwhelmed and thankful. And God bless you all. And we need to continue doing what we're doing. I really appreciate environmental education, as far as I'm concerned, is the #1 asset for this country. And those of us who are engaged in that kind of work, that makes us special. So continue doing what you're doing. Thank you.
And Richard, congratulations. And Laura may even drawn a tear. She did. She just confessed. So congratulations. That's very nice and obviously very deserving. In 2020-21, as the COVID-19 pandemic brought challenges to educators everywhere, we were inspired by the creativity and resilience of environmental educators across the state who made sure that environmental education was still an important part of the learning for students of all ages and all across Kansas. The Kansas Association for Conservation and Environmental Education is pleased to announce and recognize, as well as honor, 3 extraordinary examples of that creativity and resilience with the 2021 Pivot Awards for Environmental Education. The Kansas Wetlands Education Center annually hosts thousands to their site, providing school groups and visitors with high-quality environmental education. When COVID-19 made those opportunities impossible, KWEC educator Mandy Kern put her creativity and passion to educate to work to learn how to create an incredible virtual field trip of the Cheyenne Bottoms. Whereas many educators simply tried to maintain their current work to whatever extent was possible with the restrictions of the pandemic, Mandy challenged herself to learn new skills, which resulted in a virtual field trip that ultimately has probably exposed the Cheyenne Bottoms to more students than was ever previously possible. Moreover, what she created has allowed others to use virtual reality videos, interviews, and drone footage to teach us and to teach as if they were in a natural setting, even when that wasn't possible. One teacher we spoke with told us of ways Mandy went above and beyond to make sure her students had the environmental education opportunities they might have otherwise missed out on because of the challenges of the pandemic. Ultimately, Mandy's work is a great example of how to use challenges to improve our crafts as educators, and she serves as a great example for anyone involved in environmental education. For Mandy's creativity and resilience, KACEE is pleased to honor her with the 2021 Pivot Award.
Thank you. While I don't think anyone could say that they are glad that COVID happened or is still happening, I, however, can appreciate some of the opportunities that came because of the time of COVID. Unable to visit classrooms and with fewer field trips and visitors to the center, I was able to work on different projects. I learned new skills, created new products, and had time to explore different methods of educating about wetlands and Cheyenne Bottoms. I'm honored that I was nominated for this award by a colleague that I respect and that I enjoy collaborating with. Dr. Clay does a great job with his own students, preparing them for futures in science education, and did much pivoting of his own this past year. And so finally, I'd like to give a shout out to a few close friends that have provided me with some great examples to help navigate this past year and a half. I learned to tackle projects with the detailed organization of Monica, but also the energy and bravery of Rachel. I learned to be positive and confident like Joey, unconventional, quirky, and open to new experiences like Phoebe, and able to cope with anxiety through a healthy dose of sarcasm like Chandler. And most importantly, from Ross, I learned that a good plan, some persistence, and a few words of encouragement, almost anything is possible.
Andy, congratulations. And from here on out, I understand you will now be known as the pivoting pelican of the Pelicans. Our next award. The Labette, Crawford, Montgomery, Neosho, and Wilson County Farm Bureaus have collaboratively hosted an Earth Day celebration for 25 years. The event was focused on a day-long educational effort aimed at fourth grade students from the 5-county region. Historically, the event has hosted nearly 1,000 students along with their teachers, teacher aides, and parents, as well as guardians. Unfortunately, in 2019, the event was canceled due to weather. And then 2020, it was canceled yet again, this time because of COVID-19. Not wanting to cancel the Earth Day event yet again, in February of 2021, leaders from these 5 counties began plans for a virtual Earth Day education event for 2021. Together, these 5 counties started their own YouTube channel and filmed, edited, and published 17 short videos explaining all major commodities: soybeans, corn, wheat, and others, beef, soil conservation, biotechnology, among others, all centered around helping students learn more about the ways we can help to protect and conserve the environment. They worked with volunteers from many FFA chapters, farmers, NRCS, and others to pull this off, and made sure that the nearly 1,000 students in these 5 counties didn't miss out on yet another Earth Day event. For their leadership in making sure their area students continue to have environmental learning opportunities, KACEE is pleased to honor them with the 2021 Pivot Award. In order to include everyone, the Farm Bureaus sent us this video message.
Hi, I'm Pam Dugan from Neosho County.
I'm Marianne Scholl from Crawford County.
Hi, I'm Joni from Wilson County.
And I'm Kathy O'Brien from Montgomery County.
Hi, I am Mona Owens from Labette County, and together we are 5-County Farm Bureau. For over 20 years, our 5 counties have hosted an in-person annual Earth Day event. In agriculture, every day is Earth Day. We did this for 4th grade students and teachers in our 5-county area.
The pandemic really changed things, and we faced the challenge of how to get the story of agriculture out to the 4th grade students. That led to the creation of a YouTube channel called Agriculture for All.
A lot of people made this happen. FFA students from the 5-county area, soil conservation district managers, a soil scientist from NRCS, a plant pathologist, farm families, and others helped create 17 videos that were uploaded to the channel.
With the help of volunteers and donations from community organizations and others, educational kits were assembled and shared with 4th grade instructors.
Thanks to all of those that made this possible. Not only did this program reach over 1,000 4th grade students, but it is out there for you to watch. We invite you to check out Agriculture for All on your YouTube.
Thank you, KACEE, for your contributions to our programs and for this honor you have bestowed upon us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, our presentation of a Pivot Award to Clancey Livingston. In his nomination, colleague Robert Hamilton had this to say about Clancy. Whether it's accommodating students or making real-time adjustments to lesson plans, his skill in engaging students and integrity to teaching. A high school teacher in the Manhattan-Ogden School District, Clancy successfully transitioned his entire AP Environmental Science class online in the spring of 2020 while maintaining the Environmental Club recycling program at Manhattan High School. Clancy went above and beyond for his students by teaching and mentoring colleagues to use online platforms to make learning more engaging for his students and in the other classes as well. His efforts were affirmed when 93% of his class passed the Advanced Placement Environmental Science test. When students returned to modified in-person learning, Clancy ensured equity for every student in his class. There are many examples of how Clancy adapted, including securing a remote control video robot, which allowed quarantine students to drive around the socially distanced classroom and collaborate with their assigned groups. Perhaps one of the most important ways Clancy supported his students was his constant care for their emotional well-being during the stresses of returning to in-person learning through sponsoring several clubs, including the Environmental Club and the Red Cross Club, as well as being an active member of the faculty's Compassion Club. His compassionate leadership motivated students to maintain morale. For Clancy's work in addressing both the academic and social-economic or social-emotional needs of his students, KACEE is thrilled to be honoring him with the 2021 Pivot Award. Congratulations, Clancey Livingston.
Thank you. Honestly, I don't know how anyone could spend time with students like mine or like any and not want to go all out to make sure they get the best education, even if they don't remember, everything that went on last year between me and my colleagues and all of their teachers. I hope they remember the effort and that people took the time to make sure they were getting the best they could. And that includes, the people here and the teachers that are here tonight. I know last year was hard for everyone, and I'm just so pleased to be part of this group of people. And as much as it's me getting the award tonight, the kids are really the ones that kept me going. This includes the student who, on learning that I had won this award, crashed several of my classes to make sure all my students knew I was getting this award and why. How could I not try and live up to that, honestly? So thank you again.
Congratulations, Clancy. It's pretty cool being in Manhattan and hearing these stories when you got students who are in the school district. So that gives me a strong feeling of really pride, really a lot of proud feelings tonight. Congratulations. Next, the presentation of the John K. Strickler Award to Delia Lister. Named in honor of John Strickler, who devoted his life's work to promoting environmental education in Kansas, the Strickler Award honors the lifetime achievements, contributions, and leadership of individuals in the conservation and environmental education field. Unfortunately, we lost John in 2020, and this is one of his most favorite events, and his presence is missed. We are pleased to continue on his legacy here tonight, but even more so, we're pleased that his wife, Joan, is joining us. And I've been friends with Joan and John for a number of years, and I think that they're just, as you all know, absolutely delightful, wonderful people. And we're thrilled that you could join us here tonight, Joan. KACEE is pleased and proud to announce this year's recipient of the prestigious John K. Strickler Award for longstanding achievements in Kansas environmental education. Delia Lister has been a force in environmental education for a number of years now, beginning an undergraduate at Pittsburgh State University when she began working with the Nature Reach program as a student in 2003. Delia finished her master's and took over as the director of Nature Reach in 2006 and has blossomed into a leader in both the classroom and out of the classroom, teaching environmental education, and her passion and dedication to her work is obvious to all who have had the privilege to come into contact with Delia. She serves as faculty in the biology department for PSU and teaches 2 environmental life science courses as well as stepping up to develop new courses to help prepare students to become a certified interpreter through the National Association for Interpretation. Through her work, Delia is helping to prepare the next generation of environmental educators. But that's only part of what she does. Delia is also the director for Nature Reach, a program which provides environmental education to literally thousands of pre-K through 12 grade students and does this on an annual basis. With exciting programs that teach students about wildlife, wild places, and how to be better stewards for the places we live, her programs are in high demand. Delia uses animal ambassadors for her program so that students have an opportunity to see animals up close, which they might not otherwise get to see. And Ms. Lister is responsible for managing the care of over 50 species, many of which serve as animal ambassadors. This would keep anyone very busy, but somehow Delia finds time to do even more. She's taken leadership for organizing and planning several study abroad or study away programs for her college students, including studies in Glacier Bay National Park in Alaska, the rainforest in Peru, and most recently, Paraguay. Keila's enthusiasm for sharing her passion for the outdoors and environmental education is contagious, and she has worked with several students so that they too experience nature as few have the opportunity. This passion carries over to her volunteer efforts, serving as a board member for KACEE, helping to organize conferences for the National Interpretation Association, serving as an officer for the Sperry Gallagher Audubon Society, and as a member of the Pittsburgh State Sustainability Committee. Delia has made so many important contributions to the environmental education in Kansas, from the organizational level to the college level, and then down to the school age level, that she definitely makes a major impact. For her many years and many and varied contributions to the field of environmental education, KACEE is pleased to honor Delia with the 2020 John K. Strickler Award.
Well, thanks to everybody, and especially thank you to the KACEE staff for putting on such a fun show. I know you guys worked really hard on that, and I'd give you a standing ovation, but then everybody might see that I'm in my pajama pants, so I'll just stay seated. But I also want to say thanks to my fellow Pitt State gorilla Pat Solofsky for nominating me, and thanks to my aunt and uncle for learning Zoom to be part of this. But I recently read a piece of advice that I thought was really powerful. It read, there are 5 types of people you want to surround yourself with: the inspired, the passionate, the motivated, the grateful, and the open-minded. The KACEE organization is full of people who embody these 5 archetypes, and I'm certain I'm a better educator because of the opportunities I was given as a member of this organization. And I'm certain I'm a better person because of the relationships I was able to build through this organization. When I was introduced to KACEE as a college student, I remember feeling like I'd finally found my home. And to know there were others who had the same interests and values was so very cool. And the fact that it was possible to make a career out of something I really cared about was super exciting. And I also remember being in awe of those people that I met at that first KACEE conference. And although I thought Laura Downey was a little scary, so, but now almost 20 years later, some of those people are still here with us tonight, and I'm so proud to call them my friends and colleagues. And Laura actually isn't so scary after all. But although I didn't know John very well, I consider myself quite lucky to have had even just a few conversations with him. And what an honor it is to receive this award named for such a titan of EE. So thank you very much.
Well, I know he'd be proud to present it to you. Congratulations. And by the way, Laura is wearing pants here tonight. You're welcome. So am I. Well, let's turn things back over. We're going to go to Mike. My coach is back up on our Zoom screen. Mike, take it.
Congratulations to our awardees.
Yourself, Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry. Congratulations to our awardees. Your work in Kansas makes a difference, and we're pleased and proud to honor you tonight. Thank you to everyone who attended tonight virtually to support these outstanding educators and KACEE. A special thanks to this evening's table sponsors. We'd also like to say thanks again to our awards committee for bringing this event together.